Hi there, it's Emily here from EmilyExcels.com, and today I'm super excited to share something special with you. I'm going to walk you through step by step how I created my very own Excel mood tracker. And guess what? You can download it for free. Just check the link in the video description. Now you might be wondering, why a mood tracker? Well, for me, it's all about understanding our daily emotional patterns. It's fascinating and honestly quite revealing. I created this tool to help us all get a clearer picture of how our moods fluctuate and how they're connected to our daily lives. What I love about this mood tracker is how simple yet powerful it is. You'll see how easy it is to track your mood and spot trends over time. This can be incredibly useful for personal growth, mental health, or just satisfying your curiosity. Alright, let's dive right into the tutorial. I'm going to show you every step so you can easily replicate it or even customize it to fit your needs. Let's get started. Okay, so let's begin by creating the foundation of our mood tracker spreadsheet. First, we'll set up the key component, the mood codes. Go. Now, to incorporate emojis that represent different moods, you can simply hold down the Windows key and press the dot button. This will bring up our emoji panel here. And then from here, you can select the emojis that best resonate with your mood tracking needs. So we'll go with this heart one here, just like so. Okay, I've selected my emojis. Let me just adjust the sizes of these cells here a sec. There we go. That's better. Now, in Excel, the coloring of the emojis can be quite tricky, so instead we'll use a text box. We'll link this text box to the cell containing the emoji. Just like so. And once we've linked that, we can adjust the font size to suit our needs, like so. Now I'll go ahead and color the rest of the emojis in the same way. Now, we now have beautiful, colorful emojis. So next, we'll set a drop down for selecting the year. We'll add our drop down here. And to do that, we will go to Data, and then Data Validation, and choose List. We'll populate it up to 2030. And this selector will be used for the entire tracker. 2028, 2029, 2030. There we go. And those are our dates. So, let's now start with our first monthly sheet. The first thing to do is just decide exactly what you would like to display on your sheet. I'll just tidy up these cells here and just reduce that there so I can see what I'm working with. And we'll start with our day/date column in the top left section of our sheet here. There we go. And then we need to create our sections for tracking our mood. I've decided to break them into 3 sections because my mood does tend to fluctuate through the day. I don't want to check it too frequently. I figured that a morning, afternoon and evening would be more than enough, but feel free to customize this as you see fit. So we'll create our morning, afternoon and evening columns here and change the name. You also don't want to be obsessing over this and tracking it 10 to 15 times a day, but it's good to get a good overview on the mood throughout the day. And then we'll add a column at the end here. Just extend that a little bit. There we go. We'll have a column on the right, and that will show our overall mood. It will calculate an average, and I'll show you how to do that a little bit later, but this is where our average moods throughout the day will be shown here. A larger section here to record any notes or insights. Obviously there are a number of things that can affect that mood, so I thought having a notes section would be really helpful for me to go back and reflect on what happened. Okay, now back to our moods sheet. We're just going to reference the moods on our mood sheet and copy them over to our monthly sheet like so. I'm just copying and pasting the sheet. There we go, last one here. And there's a little bit of a trick that I've got here. You'll see that it's not an absolute reference. So in order to add an absolute reference, we need to insert those dollar signs here in between the letters. And you can do that by simply selecting the cell and clicking on the function button and the F4 key, function key and F4 key. And that just creates an absolute reference. So we can copy and paste these mood emojis into other sections of our sheet, and it won't change any formulas and mess up everything. We'll just set our month in the month heading up here, and we can go back and reference our year that we've created here on our mood sheet. Feel free to copy this formula here. So we're pulling the month, the current month, and we're pulling the year here, and just an absolute reference there, and we'll just check that works. 2023, yeah, okay, and I can set that back and hide that. We want me to access that. Okay, so let's now make these a little bolder, and we'll add some colors. I quite like the nice light pastel colors, but feel free, you could create your own dark sheet if you felt that way inclined. I personally prefer the light pastel colors. I want to create something light and nice and bright that actually makes me, and I want to use it on a regular basis. I'll go ahead and pause the video now while I make these adjustments to the colorings and the headings, and then we'll get back into some more exciting stuff. I'm back, and we now have our colors filled in, and now we're going to add some color to our emojis in exactly the same way we did on the initial mood sheet. We'll create a text box. We will reference our emoji cell, and that will create our colorful emoji, and then we can increase the font size to our desired size. We can adjust the cell height and adjust it a little bit like that. So we can center that. I definitely have a little bit of OCD when it comes to centering emojis, evidently. And then the same again for each emoji in each cell. I'll go ahead and pause the video again so that they're all filled in. Voila! Our emojis are all filled in. And now we'll create another colorful divider here. Again, just for aesthetics more than anything else, just to help divide up our sheet. I'll go with a bit of a traffic light system here. Red for when I'm feeling angry, and this nice dark green when I'm feeling fantastic, which hasn't been very often as of late, I will admit. But every day we try our best. There we go. Looks great, I think. Okay, the sheet's looking great now. Now let's quickly display today's date in this column. You can use DDD in the formula bar to show the day's name, and if you want to show the numbers, like I'm showing, you use DD. It's a simple way to see the day and date at a glance. I'll go ahead and populate the rest of the sheet now with the days of January. the next step is to create our checkboxes where we will be logging our moods. We need to go up to the developer section and then click on insert and then look for the form control checkbox, and then you can left click inside your cell and that will give you the checkbox there. We can adjust the positioning of it so that it fits inside our cell, like so. And then you can right click on format control and then link that cell. And our cell number is E12. And now we've linked our checkbox. I'll go ahead and copy what I've created here and paste it into the rest of the days of the month. And we need to paste that into all of our different mood emojis. In all of our periods. So paste them into the morning section. And then go ahead and paste them all again into our afternoon block. And then finally, for the evening. Like so. When we have all of our checkboxes pasted in, unfortunately, the next step is to go ahead and link every checkbox to the appropriate cell. Just like so. Very annoying, but as you can see, they've been successfully linked now. We'll link this one here. And you can test them by clicking on them. As you can see here, all of my cells have been correctly linked to the appropriate checked box. And what we're going to do now is color our background in white. And that will get rid of the messaging behind the checkbox. And then we're going to add some nice color formatting here. It'll be a conditional format based on whether the checkbox is checked or not. And we go to conditional formatting, new rules, format only cells that contain a cell value that is equal to true. And then we'll choose that red there and click OK. So what that does is, every time a checkbox is now clicked, it will color in the background of that cell with whatever color you want it to. I think it just adds a nice colorful touch to our sheet. And we'll go ahead and do exactly the same with the other emojis. So I'll go ahead and pause the video again and come back when I've finished it. Now, to calculate the overall mood, I've added a row on row 9 with the different numbers that correspond to each mood. And we are going to take an average number, ignoring any cells that are not filled in so they don't throw errors. And you can see the formula that the formula that starts with if error. And then we have a simple VLOOKUP that will access the mood scores from our mood sheet, and it will display the corresponding mood emoji in column X there. So I'm playing around with it now, as you can see. We have an overall mood of 1. Everything's working fine, so I'll go ahead and hide this. And then what we'll do is we will copy the formulas that we have pasted here into the cells below. And you can see that's working fine there. It's changed the emojis based on the entries that we have. Nothing was checked in that one before, so it didn't show any emojis. And we have one emoji appearing there. There. And we can test it. It seems to be working fine. Yep, all working fine. So go ahead, you feel free to copy that formula at the top there. And we'll do exactly the same thing we did before, where we reference the emoji in our text box and then just cover up with our colored version. Make it a bit bigger. Looks okay there. And do exactly the same with all the others. We've now finished with our emojis, so we can hide this column W here. And then let's also hide column C over here. I think so. It's messed up the layout a little bit, so we'll adjust some of these columns here. Change the width with little vertices so that they properly align. There we go. That's looking much better. And then, as you can see, the background of the emojis is still white. So I'll change that in just a sec, but I'm just looking at these emojis here. They're probably a little bit off center for my liking. So I'll go and highlight them all really quickly, making sure not to miss one. Very tedious, but necessary for my OCD. Almost there, that's a few. And then we'll slide those along into the center. There, that looks great. Save that. And then let's change the background color behind these emojis to match the light pink color that I've got as the background of this sheet, which I think is that one. Yeah. No, I like that. Okay. Okay, so what I was thinking about down here is having a section for displaying my average mood over the month on a weekly basis. And then we'll have a monthly summary, and then a more so generalized monthly notes section where I can just reflect on the month as a whole. So I'll play around with this. I'll see how I can lay it all out. I'll pause the video and then I'll play it again when I've positioned everything just the way I like it. Just adding the finishing touches to the bottom part of this sheet, and we'll add your notes and a nice italic font there, just for some aesthetics. And I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, actually, this bottom section. I can see myself using this quite a lot. Just change the size of the font a little bit there. Now we're going to populate our weekly average mood values. We'll round these values here for this first week. We're using the same formula that we used for the overall daily mood. We'll copy those down, and then we'll just drag this down so that we're rounding the second week as opposed to the first. And then do the same for week 3. Like so. Here we go. And then week 4. Select the values that we're going to round for week 4. And then finally for week 5. For those last few days there. And once we've done that, we'll head over to the emojis, and we will do the same VLOOKUP. And for the emojis, we'll do the same VLOOKUP formula here. We'll paste that into there. And we'll take the number. Drop the size down there a little bit so we can cover it up. And then, same as we did last time with the text box. We'll reference that cell and our emoji will appear. There. I'll go ahead and pause the video while I finish up the emojis for the remaining weeks. There we go. So now our weekly emojis are finished, and I will do exactly the same here with the same VLOOKUP to average our mood rating over the 5 weeks. And then same again, text box to finish up our monthly average mood emoji. And that's pretty much the whole sheet done here. I'll finish up adjusting the size here, and then we'll create a video showing you how to create the additional sheets for the additional months of the year. Create a copy here of my January sheet. I'm going to go ahead and rename that to February. When we go up to the top here and we change that to February also. Like so. And then we'll have to unhide our column here. And then we can go ahead here and change the month to February. So we go up to the top here, select this month and change it to 2 for February. And then I'll quickly show you how to delete these extra 2. They're not needed, obviously, for February. There's 29 days in February this year. So I deleted those. Just let that load. And then we'll need to delete our extra emojis and also delete the check boxes for the 2 extra days. So just simply highlight them and then remove them completely from your sheet by deleting them. I'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, so we have all of our sheets updated now, and I've also added a extra yearly statistics page here. You can lay this out however you like. It's quite a time-consuming process, so I'm just going to go ahead and build the layout of this page. Okay, all my data has been populated in my monthly tables here, and now I just have to replace. I'm going to do a lookup here for January, and I'm going to replace that with February. And all that's going to do is just update my formula. And then I can do exactly the same for March. And as you can see, it's updating the counts there on each of the rows for the corresponding months. So I'll go through and finish that. all of our months are now displaying the correct data. And now I'll just go ahead and finish up the layout of this bottom section. Now just have a quick test. We can flick through and make sure everything's working correctly. Seems to be updating the emojis nicely there. And that's it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this walkthrough and were able to learn something valuable. This mood track has really been a game changer for me, and I'm thrilled to share it with you. You could download it in the video description. If you got any thoughts or questions, please drop me in the comments below. And if you found the video helpful, please give it a like and hit that subscribe button. It surely helps my channel grow.